You may think of celebrities as picture-perfect entities, but they're actually just like us. They play with their pets, go on a double date, and they even commit crimes such as Dewey's and murder. Join us as we take a look at 10 celebrities who committed some of the most terrible crimes. 15 celebrities who committed terrible crimes. 15. Chris Brown. It looks like beating his ex-girlfriend Rihanna in 2009 wasn't enough for Chris, since he got arrested 2 more times after that. He got into a fight with rapper Drake in 2012, allegedly over Rihanna, because Drake was dating her too, and 8 people were injured, including NBA star Tony Parker. He punched a guy and broke his nose because he wanted to be pictured with Brown and 2 women. The singer spent 36 hours behind bars before going to rehab in 2013. In August 2016, he was accused of threatening an unknown woman with a gun. When the police came to search his house, he refused to let them in. He was arrested and got bailed out for $250,000. 14. Winona Ryder. Somebody should have told Winona that when you pick clothes while shopping, you actually have to pay for them. The actress was caught while shoplifting in store in Beverly Hills in 2001. She stole $5,500 worth of clothes and accessories. Accusations against her included using drugs, stealing, and vandalism. She was sentenced to 3 years of probation, $3,700 fine, and she had to pay more than $6,000 to the store she was stealing from. 13. Steven Segal. On the screen, he's a hero, fighter for justice, and a gentleman, but what about real life? Steven Segal has been accused of sexual harassment, employment discrimination, wrongful termination, threatening, beating, and even sex trafficking by numerous women. According to Ray Charles's granddaughter, Blair Robinson, he was so impudent that he attacked her at Ray's funeral. Fortunately for Segal, he hired a superstar Hollywood lawyer, Marty Singer, who represented Arnold Schwarzenegger, Charlie Sheen, Quentin Tarantino, and Sylvester Stallone, and he never ended up behind the bars. 12. Hugh Grant. The famous actor got arrested because he engaged in oral sex in his car with a hooker. He had to pay a $1,180 fine, and he was sentenced to 2 years of probation. But the fortune wheel definitely turned in favor of the prostitute he was arrested with. Allegedly, she made around $1.6 million from the publicity and media attention she gained after the incident. 11. Robert Downey Jr. Downey was arrested for drug possession multiple times and enrolled in the addict treatment program on several occasions, without success. His snorting habits led him to be caught by the police with cocaine, heroin, and a gun in 1996. Shortly afterward, he went into his neighbor's house while he was drugged and fell asleep in the bed. The court sentenced him to 3 years of probation, and he had to go through regular drug testing during his sentence. Downey failed to show up at one of the scheduled drug tests, and he had to serve 6 months in jail. 10. R. Kelly. The famous singer was involved in a fight in 1996 in which he beat his victim so bad that he needed 110 facial stitches. He was also sued by a 20-year-old girl who claimed he had sex with her when she was 15 and he was 24. King of R&B allegedly settled with her for $250,000. But that's not all. In 2002, an unknown source sent a video to journalists, apparently showing Kelly urinating on an underage girl and having sex with her. When police searched his house in Florida, they found 12 images of the underage girl on a camera, allegedly proving that Kelly did commit the crime he was accused of. Eventually, the jury found him not guilty, and the charges were dropped. 9. Tim Allen. Before becoming a comedy star, Tim was one of the bad guys. Police arrested him for the possession of 650 grams of coke at the Michigan airport. He was facing a life sentence for drug trafficking, but the sentence was reduced to 5 years because he gave the names of his associates to the police. 8. Mike Tyson. The former heavyweight champion was convicted of raping an 18-year-old college student who happened to be a Miss Black America pageant. The incident took place in his hotel room, and it was determined by medical examination that the victim was raped. Tyson was sentenced to 6 years in prison, but he was released after serving 3 years. According to Steve O, famous comedian and stuntman, Tyson smoked an entire joint full of cocaine in front of him. His drug addiction led him to be arrested for cocaine possession and DUI in 2007. He spent 1 day in jail and was sentenced to 3 years of probation. 7. Britney Spears. Britney's drug addiction was threatening to ruin her life more than once. She has been accused of hit-and-run accident and driving without a driver's license. Eventually, she had to pay a fine, but the incident was just the straw that broke the camel's back for her. After losing custody of her children, she even slept in a parking lot because of her drug habit, according to her former manager, who sued Britney for unpaid earnings and wrongful termination of the contract. 6. Jayz. A famous rapper was visiting a club in New York with his friends in 1999 when he stabbed record producer Lance Rivera, who allegedly copied his album. He was arrested but got bailed out for $50,000 pretty soon. Eventually, he avoided going to jail and was sentenced to 3 years of probation. 5. Paris Hilton. After getting arrested for cocaine possession in Las Vegas, she claimed it wasn't hers. She said that the purse which contained the coke wasn't up to her high fashion standards. Later, she admitted the crime and her sentence included 200 hours of community service, 1 probation year, enrolling in a drug abuse treatment program, and a $2,000 fine. 4. Matthew McConaughey. After his neighbors filed a complaint about loud music, the police came to Matthew's house, where they found him stoned, dancing around naked and playing the bongo. After searching the house, they found pot-smoking equipment and cannabis stems and seeds. After resisting the arrest, the actor had to spend the night in jail. Drug possession charges against him were dropped due to the lack of evidence, but he paid a $50 fine for the noise ordinance. 3. Mark Wahlberg. Wahlberg was addicted to cocaine when he was only 13 years old. He was also involved in the harassment of black children, including throwing rocks at them and yelling racial insults, when he was 15. 1 year later, he physically attacked 2 Vietnamese men and got arrested. He admitted the crimes, and he was sentenced to 2 years in prison, but served only 45 days of the sentence. 2. Justin Bieber. No one saw this coming when he was a kid. Justin was accused of DUI, resisting arrest, and driving without a driver's license in Miami, 2014. He admitted consuming alcohol, weed, and anxiety drugs. He was bailed for $2,500. In the same year, on 2 separate occasions, he physically attacked a photographer and a limo driver. 1. Kobe Bryant. The Black Mamba got arrested for raping a hotel worker in his hotel room back in 2003. He denied that was a rape and claimed that he thought the sex was consensual. He was bailed out for $25,000 and charges were later dropped because the victim was allegedly unwilling to testify. Eventually, they settled for an unknown amount of money. You may think of celebrities as picture